I think just over time, the accumulation of all of those different events and experiences and kind of identifying what that means for me is really what set me up to be the person that I am today. Someone who's very driven, definitely isn't going to take no for an answer, and will find a way to get it done no matter what. So although, you know, there are difficulties when you have a disability, and especially when you're growing up with a disability, I find myself thankful for it, because I'm not always sure I would be who I am today without it, in a certain sense. My full name is Lauren Farhat. I am an adaptive CrossFit athlete. I have been doing CrossFit for close to 2 years now, competing for 2 years. And my division is the women's lower extremity division above the knee. My condition is known as PFFD, proximal femoral focal deficiency. It is certainly a mouthful, but basically what that is a congenital limb deformity that takes place at birth. So typically I'll do a little resistance band warming up, some foam rolling, do like a short pliability warm up, hop into my workout. And then I do not let myself leave the gym without doing basically a full pliability routine before leaving. And that has been literally a game changer for me, who's someone who thought they were invincible to not stretching and doing mobility. And then I got into my late 20s and started training like a full-time athlete. And I realized that that is not possible for me to do anymore. And also, pliability has been really, really helpful in just my everyday chronic pain. So, like, as I'm sure you can imagine, just me existing as a human, I have a lot of lower back issues and always have, regardless of being a very active human being. Just because my balance is a little off center. And my prosthetic goes a little bit higher than my other side, so I'm a bit off balance. So pliability has been really helpful in getting my mobility back into a place where I feel a lot more comfortable in my daily life. So not only helping me perform better in the gym, but just perform better in my everyday life. Don't touch the ball, it's over, call it close, but we all know what this is gonna be. You came to fail the test, you met the best, expected chess, but got monopoly. I came and bought you out, I knocked you out, I crouched you out with no apologies. I am the hope, the heart, the faith, the one who will fulfill the prophecy. I don't want to say I neglected my right side, but I just really wasn't informed on how to stretch it or how to strengthen it or how to use mobility to help me better my balance. And so having access to the adaptive hub on pliability has been super helpful, so that I can see, oh, I can do a stretch this way and target this right side by modifying it X, Y, and Z way. It's kind of like taking the pressure off me to try and have to figure that out on my own. So it's been really, really useful in that regard. I think as an adaptive athlete, when you are going in to do any sort of movement, you have to ask yourself, how am I going to do this? Like, am I going to keep my prosthetic on? Do I need to modify it a little bit? Can I just do it as is? You know, I might need to try movement 3 separate times in 3 separate ways for me to fully understand what works best for me. Okay. There's so much camaraderie amongst us adaptive athletes. Like, not even just us adaptive CrossFit athletes, just like adaptive people in general. I swear, I will be at the grocery store and some man who's like in his 50s or something, who's wearing shorts and has a prosthetic leg, will look at me and be like, and I'm like, yeah, like, hey. And all of a sudden, you guys just have a connection. It's fun because I think there's just a little, every adaptive person has their own story, has their own experiences. Not one fits in the same shoe, right? Like, figuratively and literally. But I just think it's so special to have a community that you can confide in of like, maybe I don't understand in full what you're going through, but I do understand from a certain sense. I understand the struggles that you might have by being physically in pain just from existing, or, the society looking down on you, or maybe not having the same opportunities, or just like the constant battle to, I don't know, try and show that you do have self-worth. I think there's just a really special shared connection, and that's why having like the Paralympics and the adaptive CrossFit games and adaptive anything really is so important, just for the sake of getting us all in the same room together. It inspires me, it fills my cup, it feeds the reason why I'm doing this. They give me the motivation to keep going, my peers. And there are even times where I question myself, like, can I do this? Like, maybe I can't. And then all of a sudden you're in the same room with them, seeing them do something superhumanly amazing. And you're like, I can. This just gave me kind of like a newfound sense of hope. I'm so happy to be here with them.
The message I would send to those who are struggling with their own limitations, whether that be physically or mentally, is that the barriers you are facing right now are very real, and that's okay. You're allowed to feel confused. You're allowed to feel like giving up, and you're allowed to not have all of the answers. Those feelings are very normal, and one thing I can assure is that it does get better over time. Know that there are options out there for you to live the most accessible and independent life possible, and don't let anyone take that from you.